Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again, bringing you guys another tips video. And in this tips video, we are going to be talking about scalping, the lower time frames, looking for that daily income. Alright, so new addition to it, like I said, I asked you guys on Twitter and it got a lot of likes, 21 likes, that's incredible. And then I posted this one talking about scalp setups, 18 likes. Man, thank you so much. So, it's a new addition to my tips playlist. Let's get right into it. Oops, I don't want to go there. I want to go to my playlist. You can always just go to my YouTube channel, which you are probably watching this video right now, and then go to the tips playlist and you can check out all the other tips playlist, right? Talking about supply and demand, how we use it. Extremely good videos. But anyways, I don't want to keep this video going for 22 minutes or anything. Let's try to keep it under 10 to 12 minutes. All right. We are also going to be talking about some trades too that I took with results showing too, right? So let's get into scalping first, what we're trying to do. Obviously, there are three types of styles. There is swing trading, long-term position trading, and then there is scalping, kind of daily income trading. They all serve different purposes depending on your lifestyle and the personality you have, right? Maybe you're the type of person that maybe works a full-time job. You don't have the time to look at the markets for 2, 3 hours a day straight. So maybe day trading or scalping is not right for you. So maybe you want to move to swing trading or long-term position trading. I made a good video talking about that. I don't know where it is, to be honest. I wonder if I did add it. It's somewhere in my YouTube. I'll link it down below in the description if you did want to check it out. Talking about day trading or swing trading, about trying to choose which one is best for you. But today we are focusing on scalping only, that daily income, right? So what I did is I list out about a couple things, about things that I do consider when I am scalping, and these things all go into my analysis. So first thing we want to go over is scalping. Scalping is usually you're getting in and out of the markets really quickly within a couple of minutes to the end of the day, right? You're not trying to hold these positions long term. All you are focused on is predicting where the market's going to go for the next couple of minutes or for the next hour or two. That's really all it is. You're trying to get in and out. Understanding, you're not worried about the higher time frame of where the US dollar is going to go in 2 weeks from now. That could be a totally separate analysis. I could be extremely bullish the US dollar for the next 2 weeks, but for the next hour or 2 hours, I could be extremely bearish. So understanding that different time frame sequence of trading is very important. So, you could be, like I said, extremely bullish for the next 2 weeks, but for the next hour or two, because we're sitting in a very nice supply zone, I'll be looking for maybe a quick 5-minute scalp to get in and out of the market within 10, 15 minutes, right? I don't have to be bullish for the next 2 weeks only, right? So that's number one, is understanding the different time frame sequences you are looking to do, right? The next thing, tip number two, is your target, risk to reward, stop loss entry. This is big because if you're typically scalping, you're looking for that quick daily income. You're not trying to capture these 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1 trades. You're trying to get these 1 to 1, 2 to 1, maybe these 3 to 1 trades, and then get out. Your targets are usually smaller because, well, it's a lot harder to call the exact top and bottom when you're scalping, especially when your zones are only a couple pips big, or maybe a couple dollars or a couple cents big, right? So you need to understand, you're scalping the smaller time frames, so you might need to adjust your targets. Say, okay, I'm going to be inside this trade for 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. You're probably not going to capture a 10 to 1 risk to reward or 8 to 1. You're really just interested in capturing that 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, get out, right? Something that you do have to consider is the spread, especially when you're trading the forex market, right? You deal with the spread. It's not a regulated market. Everyone kind of has different spreads. I pay for an ECN broker, so I pay for my commissions. That's what I think is very important. Is if you're going to be scalping like 1 minute time frames, I think trading on an ECN broker, meaning basically you get the tightest, basically it's the tightest spread possible, but you pay for that. So I pay basically $7 Canadian or like $5 American for per one lot I trade, right? So I'd rather have my spread being say 0.2 instead of you being a free commission broker and having the spread at 1.2, because that 1 pip or that 2 pips will make or break it, especially if you're trading 1 to 1, 2 to 1, getting in and out of these trades, because these trades are typically only 4, 5, 6 pips, some of them, right? And so if you have like a 2 pip spread, you're gonna have to cover the market extra by those extra 2 pips. So you need the market to go in favor by you by an extra 20% or something like that, right? So that's why I choose to go with an ECN broker. Does that mean it can be done on other brokers? No, it doesn't mean that. But I would rather pay for my spread, the tightest spread, and have the ability to go on the 1 minute time frame. I know traders that do it with free commission, but I prefer just to pay for the commission and get the tightest spread possible. So number 3, time of day. This is an important one. It's probably not the smartest idea to be trading 1 minute time frames or 5 minute time frames in the middle of the day when every market is closed, right? If like the London's not open, which is usually the best time to be trading currencies, that's when the most liquidity happens, especially in the first 2 hours, and especially in the USD or the euro, not the euro, but the US market session. The first 2 hours are usually the best. So probably trading somewhere in the middle is not the best. It's not ideal, but it can be done. But understanding the time of day, probably trading a 1 minute time frame when the Sunday market just opened, like 3 hours ago, it's probably not the best idea to start executing 1 minute trades or 5 minute trades. Me personally, I like to make sure I'm trading scalps or anything like that during the best liquidity times of the markets. So understanding the time of day is important. That goes back to what we started at the beginning. If you don't have the ability to sit in front of your computer for an hour or two, maybe 3 hours, then it's probably not for you. But that's okay, right? Then look to do swing trading or long-term position trading. It's okay. So number 4, this is a quick one. Risk management plan. For me, if I lose 2 trades in a row, I'm done for the day. If I win 2 trades in a row, I'm done for the day. I don't keep trading, right? There's some people that trade like 6 to 8 hours a day. I didn't get into trading for that reason. I don't think any of us get into trading to sit in front of our computers for 8 hours a day, trading the markets, trying to scalp pip after pip after pip, trying to capture every single pip in the market, right? It's impossible. There's thousands of pairs out there. There's so many different markets out there, right? You're not going to capture every pip. It's just dumb to say. So having a risk management plan, understanding when to walk away is extremely important. So the next one, number 5, major currencies, not exotics. This is a big one. We talked about spread earlier. The major currencies are the most liquid. They move the most, right? You're going to have the tightest spread. If you're going to be taking 1 minute or 5 minute trades, you want to be trading them on the majors majority of the time, or the minors, but definitely not the exotics, because those ones have like 5 pip spreads, 10 pip spreads. You're not going to scalp the market trading these exotics. The majors, this is all you really need, is these ones right here, the USDs, US CAD, US Swiss, Euro USD, pound, the majors, right? It's like 7 of them. And then I trade some of the minors sometimes too. But then also I'll trade the indexes. So there's lots of options. So especially when you're trading 1 minute time frame, it's very easy to get overwhelmed if you're looking at like 20, 30 different time frames or 20 different, different charts. So it's important to just limit the amount. Keep it simple and you'll do just fine. So the next one, number 6, consider the futures markets. This is important, especially when trading the smaller time frames. I probably don't want to be buying the USD CAD when the dollar is sitting in supply, right? It just counters each other. Ideally, when I'm taking these smaller time frame trades, I want to make sure the US dollar is in my favor. So if we go down into like the DXY, I don't know, let's just take this for example. If prices were coming down into here, into demand, well, I probably want to make sure that, where's USD CAD, is also coming down. I don't know, let's just say this was the demand. I probably want to make sure that the USD CAD was also coming into this demand too. I don't want the US dollar going into supply with the USD CAD coming into demand. That's counters each other, right? So this is very important when I'm trading the major currencies. Where was I? Shit. Hold up, guys. Here we go. We'll go over the rest pretty quick. Consider the futures market, and that goes for everything, right? There's the Japanese, the Canadian, the Aussie, the pound, the euro, the dollar. All that before I take the trade, I just go jump in. I just check it the same time frame. If I'm looking to enter on the 1 minute, I'll go check the 1 minute and just say, okay, is it sitting in supply? Yes, okay, I'll take it. Is it not? Okay, no, I won't take it, right? Number 7, don't scalp the big news. This is probably one of the biggest ones. This goes back to risk management kind of. Don't try and call the top and bottom on a 1 minute time frame, especially with big news. I got screwed out of this today. I don't consider it screwed out, but I didn't take it. I pulled my trade right before the U.S. What was I trading? USD Japanese. I was looking to sell the U.S. dollar, but there was unemployment claims were coming out. Unemployment numbers. It's Friday. It's the first Friday of the month. It's the first Friday of the month of the reporting after, you know, the COVID-19. So I pulled this trade actually. We'll talk about it later, but not taking 5 minute or 1 minute trades when you have a major news announcement coming out in a couple minutes. You're asking to potentially get, stop loss hunted, to get margin called out. It happens all the time. And you get a big move that happens in a split finger, especially if you're trading the 1 minute time frame, you might not get stopped out where you want to get stopped out. I've had it before where it's like, I want to get stopped out for at this price, call it $100, and then I would get stopped out for like $250, right? Even though it's just prices kept going. There was no buyers willing to take my stop loss. It just kept going. So that happens. You definitely do not want to get caught trading a 1 minute zone when this price could just jump 100 pips, 50 pips in a matter of a second. A matter of a news release. This is extremely important. You need to be aware of the news. So where were we? Don't scalp big news. So that's it. I'm going to show you guys pictures now of examples. Just a quick recap. I know you guys are here. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Scalping, obviously, being aware of which type of trading you are doing. That's very important, right? You could be long the US dollar for the next 2 weeks, but you might be, bearish for the next 2 hours. So understanding that time sequence that you're trying to scalp. You're only trying to get these quick 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1s, R&Rs, and then get out. Consider the time of day, the first 2 hours possibly. Have your risk management plan. 2 wins, 2 losses. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. I recommend trading the majors, not the exotics, right? Obviously, the futures correlations we talked about, and obviously don't scalp with big news. This is all stuff I really consider when I am scalping the market. If I'm, say, looking for long-term position trades or swing trades, sure, I probably get rid of most of these, right? Because I'm trading the higher time frames. Instead of trading a 5 pip zone, I am trading maybe a 30 pip zone, right? So the odds of me getting stop hunted out or getting a margin call are extremely low compared to me getting stopped out, margin called on a 1 minute zone, right? So just be aware of that stuff. Let's jump into some trade examples now. So first one, I don't know, let's start at the bottom, USD yen. This was one I was watching today. This was one, I believe I might have mentioned it before, about 5 minutes ago. Being aware of big news. I saw US dollar yen coming up into supply, right, on my big time frame. I saw an entry on my 5 minute. This doesn't matter if you're trading only supply or demand. This goes for everything. Whatever strategy you are trading, this is the exact same thing. I saw this brilliant setup, breaking upward momentum, removing demand. I saw a nice 5 minute supply zone I could sell at, right? I pulled my entry. I pulled my position right before it entered. Why? Because the news was about to come out. In about 15 minutes, news was about to come off, so I pulled my entry. What was this? This is at 5:05 in the morning. News came out, I think, at like 5:30 or something. I didn't want to be in that trade. For all I know, it's just going to rocket up. Prices were starting to move quick. This one would have definitely gone in my favor, right? I think I had my target down here. I had my first target, I think 2-to-1, and then my second was down here. Yes, I feel like an idiot, but you know what? If this thing went against me, shit, I would have been pretty pissed because I would have broken the most important rule in my trading, right? Don't trade big news announcements. I mean, if you want, go for it, but I don't recommend it, right? I wouldn't do it. I don't recommend it. This was one pound USD, a 1 minute. I posted this on my Twitter account talking about this. It was pound USD and USD CAD, both trying to buy the US dollar. Price is sitting inside higher time frame demand. Um, I was trying to pick the really extreme. This is both 1 minute time frames. Just missed this one. US dollar came up to like a pip and then came out. Missed, right? Same thing with this one. Just missed by a pip and then reversed. These ones would have been major winners. But you know what? That's okay. Um, Especially when you're trading these smaller time frames, you're really trying to pick the extreme, especially when trading supply and demand. You are gonna happen. This is gonna happen a lot. Prices just miss your zone and then they rocket out, right? Or they just stop loss and then you rocket out. Or they come and hit your target, but you don't get your target hit because of your uh, was it your spread? We talked about the spread earlier in the video. It's really important. You've got to cover that spread, right? Even when you're buying and selling, taking profit, entering, you always have to cover the spread. So those ones didn't get filled. That's a shame. US dollar. I pulled this one because of the news event. These ones I didn't get filled. I think that was on Thursday. Here was one, New Zealand US dollar. Prices coming up into daily supply, 4-hour supply. I saw confirmation. I saw a 30-minute rally-based drop. I was looking to sell at this pullback, and I did. And I think, I lost 200 bucks. And then the next one, pound USD prices coming up into daily supply. I saw this confirmation set up. Never mind I'm not going to talk about how I, trade. There's a whole list of tips playlists I have for you guys if you guys want to watch them. So we're just really talking about scalping. Scalping, I got in and out 1.5 to 1 or something. I think this is like 0.5% risk or something. That one was 220 bucks win. So that's all I kind of had for you guys. We could jump into the markets and I could talk about maybe I could quickly talk about some stuff. So like I said at the beginning, I could be bearish this for the next 2 weeks. But if I see prices, let's just say for example, sitting in supply, right? If I see prices sitting in a 30-minute supply, I could be extremely bearish this for the next 30 minutes to an hour, 2 hours. What's stopping me from looking for selling opportunities right now, right? I could be extremely bullish, I should say, for the next 2 weeks, but for the next hour, I could be extremely bearish. So just understanding that time frame sequence about when I'm trying to trade. These markets move a lot really quickly, so having that time frame sequence, understanding what's going on for the certain amount of time frames you are doing is really important. I do the exact same analysis as if I'm trading position trading, swing trading, or scalping. Right? Watch my other videos if you want more about that. Price is sitting inside the higher time frame zone. For my scalping, it might be the 1 hour or the 4 hour time frame. My entry might be the 5 minute, might be the 15 minute, might be the 1 minute. I'm trying to get those quick in and out trades. Unlike my swing trading where I might go for the bigger risk to reward trades, right? If I'm swing trading, maybe I'm using the weekly as my biggest time frame. If I'm position trading, maybe I'm using the monthly as my biggest time frame. I think I've gone on long enough. I think I said this was going to be like 10 minutes. I think it's probably 15 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to let me know. Have a lovely weekend. This is Friday that I'm recording this. If you're listening to this on a weekday, have a lovely week. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Cheers. Thank you so much. Bye bye.